This thing. Ah! This thing is dangerous. Ah! I don't have a case on my phone, so we'll see if we can not smash it. Okay. We are off to work. Going to make a risky move. Excuse me. Thank you. I talk to traffic even though they can't see me. It is. Wow. It is Friday. No. It's not Friday. What is today? Wednesday. Wednesday. Okay, so it's Wednesday. I am in Ryan's car. I'm in the Malibu. Going to deliver some tools for a sharpening company. I have all kinds of goodies. I am making the rounds, and I would take my bike, but I had too much to do. I had a bunch of saw blades and a bunch of things to drop off, so I could not. It was too much to carry my backpack, so I'm in the car. And for those of you who haven't seen my video about my motorcycle, and I use it for this kind of stuff for business purposes, so I can drive it for free. So I own a it was brand new, 2015 ZX6R Kawasaki Black. Check out that video. It's pretty cool. And I'll probably have more of that sometime. I'll have some more in-depth, and I'll have some more riding, and I'll do some more of that pretty quick. But enough about that. So here we are. I'm going to Kennebunk Port. Some of you may know that place. Drop off some tools and whatnot. And I got thinking about some stuff we were doing this morning, and about appointments and people and business and stuff. In town there's a gas station for sale, and I'm thinking about buying it. And I don't know too much about gas stations and all that, but I think if I do some research and hit the books and start asking, I actually know a guy who had 3 or 4 gas stations, and I might hit him up and be like, yo, what do I do? And I might ask him some questions about viability and fuel prices and things like that, because, like, dude, a gas station, that runs all the time. And that's not going away. People are gonna need that until Tesla takes over. Did some sharpening the mobile unit today, drove around, did some shears, posting to social media, stuff like that. Still doing the marketing and testing out the web pages and using that to move your images and your videos and expanding to a large group of people. And that's been working really well. Top Ranch has been growing really good. I think we're up to like 840 page likes, and things have been so crazy. We've been working so hard. My dad was down here doing some tree work with us. We did a lot clearing and stuff, and took down a bunch of really big trees and took some good videos. So I will have a full video of that on Top Ranch's Facebook page, so check that out. Definitely hit the old like button on our Facebook page for that, and for our sharpening company AccuEdge. Definitely do me a solid. If you have any business pages or anything like that, if you guys have a page for your stuff, let me know what it is. Leave a link down below, and I'll go and I'll check it out. I'll promote you guys, because I'm all about that, helping out other people and other businesses. I'm gonna do a video about our shop, because today's kind of been all about sharpening and all about doing that kind of stuff, and how we do it. I'm gonna give you guys a little tour of the machinery that we use, what's gonna be coming up, things that we run into, getting into this industry. Because we had people tell us, oh, this is a hard business and a hard industry to get in. And it's like, you know, they're like, it's gonna be difficult, and it's really not. There's a science to everything. Sharpening is simple. It's super easy. Pretty much longevity and sharpness for most tools. And then you have a balance, like skates, ice skates. We have an ice skate sharpener coming in automatic. This thing's gonna be sweet. I'm looking forward to it a lot. Should be in another couple weeks, because it was back ordered. And I'll put a video of that, because that thing's pretty cool. I have that up on AccuEdge's Facebook page, so if you guys have already liked that, that'll come up and you'll get to see it. It'll be cool. It has like a little light, and it's a woo robotic arm and stuff. It's pretty sweet. And I'm going to show you guys the shop, and we'll go talk about that, and we'll talk about moving the business going from a mobile unit to a actual shop in the storefront, and our plans for the future with that. And we're gonna be talking a little bit about service-based businesses, because I know that a lot of people when you first start out as an entrepreneur, you work with your hands. You know, you have a tree service, a sharpening company, you're a plumber, an electrician. You work a trade. You know, you're a carpenter. You do framing. You do whatever. You do paving. Most of the time, you start in that kind of thing where it's kind of labor intensive, and then there are other companies like e-com businesses and marketing and doing all that kind of stuff where it's not it's not something that you have to get your hands dirty, and it's not something you go and have to do. That's something you can do over the phone or on the internet or whatever. And right now we're going to be talking about work ahead, not you. Going through construction here. This blacktop is fucking nice. Who is flagging? Nobody's flagging. Who's running the road? God. What kind of things you can expect when it comes to service-based businesses, because those are our bread and butter. Those are what we have the most experience in, and that's what we know the best, because they're really easy to start, and they're it's something that's really tangible, and you can build right on it, and you have a physical product. It's really easy to market that. It's really easy to do that because there are tons of service products, like a lawn maintenance people or lawn care. We know tons of people who do that and who have you can make a lot of money in service, but it's harder work, and you have to be a bit more dedicated, and it's more of a skill instead of like a learned kind of thing. Marketing is not really a skill, it's a formula. It's not really all that dynamic. You have like the people, you have to know your client, you have to put in some kind of content that they're going to be attracted to and that they're going to interact with. And if you know your client well enough, putting out an ad that they're going to grab based on statistics and all that other stuff, it's pretty simple. Anyone can start a marketing company, and anyone can do that. And it's actually one of the best businesses to start if you don't have a lot of capital. That's something that's pretty easy to get going. And all you have to do is have a cell phone. Everybody's got a cell phone. But getting into service-based companies, those are a little bit different. You have to have equipment. There's a lot more moving parts. You have to have other guys, because say you're framing a house. One guy is not going to frame a house. You know how long it would take him to do that, and how hard he would have to work? It wouldn't be worth it. Turning in product as fast as you can, and doing a good job, and having multiple layers and segments that you can do will make your service business will make that a lot more viable and make that better. A lawn guy who only cuts grass, is really going to have a limited customer base, and also kind of you can make a lot of money only cutting lawns, but it's not as much as doing some hardscaping, putting in patios, and doing mulching and flower beds and planting trees and shrubs and all that. Because most people are going to want more than one thing done, which is why we sharpen pretty much everything. I just really had a set of shears, and then I had a set of chisels, and I have block planers, and I just delivered saw blades and Forstner bits and drill bits, and pretty quick we're going to be doing ice skates, and we're going to be doing snowboards, and we're going to be doing skis, and if it has an edge, we sharpen it, an AccuEdge. With service businesses, and you have multiple people and multiple things going on, a lot of times scheduling can be a massive undertaking. But making sure that you're always scheduled, appointments, phone calls, the work itself, meetings and all this other stuff, being impeccable on your scheduling will a lot of times make or break a service business. A lot of guys get busy and don't give you phone calls and don't return emails and all this other stuff. And keeping up to date. A lot of services are older guys who don't typically, letting these people cross, who don't typically understand the new processes of like marketing and things like that, and social media and websites and stuff. And a lot of times being connected to tech can keep you up to date on what all of your people doing. And so services that don't really feel like doing all that stuff, or it's really simple or whatnot, the advantages of having tech involved just for scheduling alone, like your iPhone. iPhone will keep all your reminders, all your appointments, and everything scheduled weeks after. I'm like, everybody wants to cross today. Good God. Of course, I'm in a hurry, so that's probably why they're all coming out of the woodwork. When I was halfway done the rounds, I had to run all the way back for 2 drill bits. Two. Because they were supposed to go out today, but they weren't done because things weren't scheduled, and there was a little bit of a miscommunication between the 3 of us. That cost me about 15 miles for 2 drill bits. This is like $10 worth of tool sharpening right here. $10. So, and it cost me a lot of time because, you know, it's city miles too, in towns and stuff. There's speed zones. It's not just the mileage itself, but it's also the time. So, scheduling and being up to date, finding ways of keeping your schedule good, whether it's having someone doing that for you, someone answering phone calls, using apps, using calendars, using your cell phone, whatever you gotta do. Make sure you're keeping your appointments, keeping things scheduled for the right days, and you know what's going on all the time. Especially services need to do this more because they're less connected to tech often compared to social media agencies and people running online e-com businesses and stuff like that. So there's your little tipperoo from making a mistake straight from the source. There's a tip for you right there. Just got a call from the hospital, my surgery. For those of you who don't know, my last video I talked about my appointment. I was back in Vermont. I was doing some work and whatnot, and I had to go for an appointment. I have a tear in my abdominal wall, and a little bit of the fatty tissue and a little bit of the membrane around my intestines is pushing through. It's like kind of like a tenth of a hernia. It's not a real hernia and whatnot. I got it last year on a tree job, and I tweaked a little bit in a workout about a month ago, and I went to a doctor's appointment that said, yeah, it's not really going to heal on its own, and you have to get surgery if you want it to ever go back to being the way that it was. So they called me early today, and they're like, hey, you know, we don't really have time for you on the day that you scheduled it, so we're going to push you to the 18th of October, and that's kind of the way it's going to be. So I called them, and I'm like, can I get some more information? Like, what's the deal? And they're like, hey, we'll call you back. They just called me back and said, we can do it on the 11th, which is awesome, because that's next Wednesday. I can get this over and done with, so I can go back to the gym, get back to being healed up, and get working out again. I didn't want to do it on the 18th only because deer season, I'm a hunter and a fisherman and all of that, and deer season comes up on November 1st. Or I'm a resident of Maine, so I get it on the 30th is when the season starts, and I want to be up in the middle of the woods recovering from a surgery on my stomach and be in 2 hours from a hospital, and you know, I don't want to be doing that for like 2 or 3 weeks. And I was like, I don't want to be out in the middle of nowhere and have something go wrong, so I wanted my post-op check before then, and it is yes. I plan on doing a vlog that day, and we're gonna go in. You guys can see me all gowned up, ready to rock and roll. Go under the knife so I can get this over with. Thank God. So after these deliveries, I'm gonna give you guys a tour of this shop, and we'll go see Ryan. Okay, I'm pulling into my last stop. Just like that. Two chisels, a block planer blade, saw blade, and a slipperoo. That isn't it. Ah, yes. Dude, we are so cheap. Wow. You'd wonder how we made any money. Slip in the box. Box in the hand. Boom. Let's do this. Oh, just a drop off. They weren't here. Today's actually been a good day. Now, let's head back to the shop, and I'll give you guys a quick tour, and let's go see what Ryan's doing. Here we go. Yes. Boom. Way in the back. as you can see, clearly. Not the easiest place to find your way around. But that's okay, because people still find us. Sounds like Ryan's actually talking to some clients right now. We're gonna be quiet, because we don't want to interrupt him. It just takes a while, it's kind of a walk. It was actually the client that I just barely dropped that saw blade off to, but here we are. Here's the shop. Bit of a mess, and half of our equipment isn't here, but I'll show you Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
How's it going?
How you doing?
A little close.
Yeah. What you doing?
Well, I just got done sharpening a shingle shear, and
Nice.
now I'm printing up an invoice for them right now.
Sheesh.
Yeah, and it's over on the table.
Bookwork. Okay. Planer blades. We got shears and chainsaw chains, and we have a saw blade sharpener over there. Those are all of our charts. And half of our equipment isn't here, and the place is a mess because we're kind of in limbo right now. Everything's in our mobile unit because we still go from place to place sharpening and whatnot. But it's not a bad little place. It's kind of cool. It didn't always look like this. Everything in here we built. Everything in here we brought in, like all the benches and stuff we had to build, and we had to bring everything in, the clock and all that jazz. But I'll have a little video of when we first got to this place and what it looked like, middle of winter, moving in and stuff. It's pretty cool. But we have to get back to work, and we have tons of stuff to do. So, all right, everybody, see you later. Ryan, this is my brother Ryan. In case you guys didn't know, I have a brother. I actually have 3. This is Ryan. We call him Beaver. We'll tell you about that later sometime maybe. But all right, for now, Taylor out. We'll see you later. And Ryan out. Bye, Ryan.
See ya.
Hit us up, like us, Facebook, and all that jazz. If you guys have any questions, any comments, as always, leave your likes and thumbs up and comments below, and I'll do my best to help you guys out. Anything you have going on, answer all your questions and anything that you're burning about. But we'll see you later. Bye.